Maritime Matters is brought to you live by Bahamas Maritime Connection.
What is maritime?
Maritime, simply put, relates to navigation or commerce on the high seas.
Some say money makes the world go round. I say ships move the money that make the world move.
Who navigates those large international ships?
How often are international ships required to be surveyed and inspected?
Maritime also protects our seas and borders by way of our local Bahamas Defense Force.
It is very sad to say that out of 1,500 plus ships that are registered under the Bahamian flag, only a very small amount of Bahamians are employed.
Maritime Matters.
And pleasant good evening to you, our valued listening audience. Welcome one. Welcome all. Welcome to Maritime Matters. I am your host, Captain Glenn Bain. Our producer for the night is, of course, the great one himself, Mr. Maestro, Mr. Craig Gibson, the Great, and he gives a salute. We're coming to you live via Love 97 FM. This is Tuesday, the 30th day of September, 2025. And if it's a Tuesday, you know the deal. It's Maritime Matters. Be encouraged that if you're driving and tuned in with us, please do so cautiously and ensure to take your time in getting wherever it is you are trying to get safely. As the saying goes, drive to arrive alive. Our sponsors for tonight's show are 101 Pharmacy and also Island Care Pharmacy. For all your medication needs, check out my little cousin, Shantia Heel McBride, and her lovely team at 101 Pharmacy in Nassau, and of course, Island Care Pharmacy up there in the second city of Freeport. Fill your prescription at the store or send your refills via the online site, oneononepharmacy.com. That's all one word, all lowercase, 101pharmacy.com. The three locations are East Street South, and of course, that's where Joy works. And Joy is the pharmacist, the best pharmacist in the Bahamas is Joy. And if you ain't believe me, go back to my last statement. On Charles Sanders Highway, it's the second one, and of course, Expressway in downtown Freeport. This is the one where my big cuz Steph carry on. She run things up and down. So, you know, when you go in there and you get your little operations, just tell her, oh, Maritime Matters send me. And she get a little something after a little something. And if she refused to do so, you can't blame me. I tell you, do it. We are secondly sponsored by Bahamas Maritime Connection Limited. At BMC, we provide a full slate of ISPS maritime security services. Good night, Auntie May. My auntie up there in Freeport, our number one fan. That's my Auntie May, 92 years old and going strong. And she called me today. Lord, you know, Auntie May, call me. Auntie May, don't call me. Auntie May, I apologize again, and I tell you I apologize again on the show. Why you think Auntie May had to call me? Auntie May had to call me simply because she was sending me voice message, and I would not respond. So she said, I tired of that. Something wrong, because this ain't Glenn. He don't do this. Boy, and she called me. She laid me out. Boy, look here. You had my heart. I say, Auntie May, every time I say I respond. Auntie May, you know your boy a little busy, and we had a little flood here, and we had this, and we had that. Again, Auntie May, all these excuses in the world. Auntie May say, look here, next time, just tell me you can call me, but let me know you're living. Say, because I've been really worried when I send you a message, because I know you always answer me. And he may send me a voice note every day. I tell you, that's my girl. That's my number one fan. She asked me what we talking about tonight. I said, I ain't get a clue. I was so busy. I really know if I can do that. And then it hit me that I got a show to do. And I got 4 guests sitting up here in the studio with me tonight. And we got plenty to talk about. So we got it coming, ladies and gentlemen. We got it coming. I have to mention before I go any further, without any further ado, my boy, my dog, my high school pal, very good friends, all the way from high school until his passing 3 days ago. Mr. Vaughn Miller. Everybody's talking about it, of course. Mr. Vaughn Miller was a cabinet minister. And you know cabinet ministers don't pass away too often while they're serving. And of course, Mr. Obi Wilshcombe, another very good friend of mine, passed away a few years ago, very short few years ago, while he was sitting as a cabinet minister. Now here is another good friend of mine. See, I don't have much friends in politics. I don't. And with Vaughn going now, I don't even know if I get none right now sitting in politics who I know personally, or who know me personally. It ain't about who you know in politics, who know you. And I ain't looking for nothing from nobody because they know I done. I too old now to be looking for something, right? So Vaughn, Miller, and I graduated from R.M. Bailey in 1979 together with a lot of other people. And I can tell you that Vaughn is one of the most sweetest persons, and you know I ain't no sissy. But Vaughn is one of the sweetest persons you will find from high school level. The boy was a household name. Ain't nobody in high school could have beat him playing basketball. Well, okay, we had some fellas who could have played different positions. But when it come to that power forward position, Vaughn Miller was your man in high school. Everybody know he was the household name because once he get a breakaway, that's a slam. He would slam that ball every lap. Anyway, Vaughn was extremely popular. Basketball player to the highest order. He of course got a scholarship, and I surprised he didn't make it into the NBA. But of course, you know, he was tall to us. But when you go in them college over there, you 6'4", 6'5", in the Bahamas, you very tall. But when you get over there, you short. Because their guards bigger than 6'4", 6'5". So now you got to move from a center and a forward, and now you got to learn to play guard. And that's kind of difficult, eh? Because you're too short to play forward in college if you're 6'4". Anyway, Vaughn did well. He, as everybody know, upon completion of college, I think he got his degree in journalism or something in that order, where he went into the media, and he was a news reporter, and he was had a show going on with ZNS. And I must mention Picewell here because I remember those days when Picewell had him in training, and he went on, of course, into the clergy, and he started to preach. But Vaughn was a little he was a little tender from school, but not that kind of tender with some of the other fellas be, right? But he was such a nice person. You never really hear him raise his voice. I even didn't know if he could have shout, right? And he carried that with him outside of school into his career, because on one or two occasions I ended up at ZNS doing interviews on a show. I remember doing it when I was running marathons. We went and we had a show. He hosted us, and there was a time when we were talking about the old days. I was at the port. We was talking about the old days when the ferry boats used to be taking people out to do glass bond. And he would always say, "My basic friend, Cleare Bay." And I can tell you, I had my office now for some 21 years. And when Vaughn ran into his little obstacles with politics, when he was about to switch over from F&M to PLP, when he was about to walk the floor, and even after he walked the floor, he would very frequently hail me at my office, and he and I would talk, and we would talk about politics because he know I was giving him the honest opinion that I know. I know politician, boy, but I call it as I see it, right? And I told him, I said, "Boy, Vaughn, you know the deal is." I say, you if you can cross the floor, you better cross it, because look like we the people could swing this government again. And eventually, it took him a while. Vaughn don't do nothing quick. All right, it took him a while, and he crossed the floor, and then he came back. Yeah, boy, Glenn, right, and then of course the rest is history. He became a minister in the Brave Davis administration, rightly so. And Vaughn is more deserving than most, and he and I would meet and travel. Vaughn used to go to the States almost every weekend, and I didn't know why so often, but I used to travel. I still travel quite a bit. And a couple of times he'd buck, and we would go and have breakfast. IHOP, of course. That's before I know, but them fancy places name with us do breakfast. And I running out, right? Anyway, I need to run out because Vaughn is my boy, right? And Vaughn told me a couple of years back, he said, "Boy, Glenn, I rushing in now, and my baby just born. I just had a son." I said, "You just had a son?" And I checked back. I said, "Vaughn, this is your first child?" "Yeah, boy, Glenn, I know." I said, "Vaughn, I get grandchildren older than this." Boy, me and him had a good laugh. And it's true, I get 6 grandchildren, but the last one 5. Right? And so he would always tell me, because I would go to his office sometime, he'd come to my, even as a cabinet minister, Vaughn still used to come to my office. And I can't put nothing on him because he's passing going. But that's the kind of friendship we had, eh? He'd come to my office and we would talk, and I would ask him, I say, how's your son, man? And he, boy, Len, I don't know how we're making it. And I told him, I said, Vaughn, you need to make arrangement to get that boy here. I said, you're a cabinet minister. You can't be trying to go over there and live. You need to get that boy and his mummy on this side. And yeah, we looking at that too, Glenn. But boy, this one, and he already had his mind make up. He's going to live in the States and bring up his son. Well, I don't know how much of y'all and how well y'all know him, but I telling you what I know, right? And I don't want nobody call the show tonight talking nothing. They think negative because there's nothing negative but my friend Vaughn. There's nothing negative. And I can tell you that now. So if you don't want me to get on your case, anyway, we ain't all about that tonight. We here to talk about some serious stuff, some maritime stuff, and in that, I must say that, you know, I have a good friend, Mr. Shane Gibson, who graduated from RMBL in 78, and he was the first cabinet minister that I know that graduated around our time in RMBL. Of course, we had what the name of the previous cabinet ministers, Mr. Dion Folks and his brother-in-law. Oh boy, they can kill me. Anyway, we had some previous cabinet ministers that came from RMBL in the F&M government, and they did well, right? And the PLP Shane would have come, and he would have been a cabinet minister, and he did extremely well. And then Vaughn came, and Vaughn did well. I wouldn't say Vaughn was carrying on like them fellas, right? But Vaughn is from my year. And there's no other person from my year who graduated as a pacer, entered politics until my girl trying to get into politics now with the COI. But we ain't talking about that, right? And so I would like to say, ladies and gentlemen, you know, my sincerest, most profound and deepest sympathy goes out to Vaughn's family, especially his son, because I know what that son meant to him, and his wife, the mother of that son. He wanted his family to be together. And he never had the opportunity. Obviously, he never will because he's now dead. He never had the opportunity to actually live with his son so that he can have his way in bringing him up. The boy is only 5. And I seriously think that Vaughn was getting away from politics. A lot of people have all kind of say, oh, you know, he's getting away. He already announced that he was getting out. And I can tell you he was getting out, not because of this or because of that, but because he wanted to spend time with his child. He wanted to mend his family and do the family thing. Anyway, I talk too much about Vaughn. But, you know, Vaughn is my good friend. I mean, it's so sad to see how things happen sometimes. We can't question God and the way God do things. But before Vaughn died, on Tuesday of last week, just 1 week ago, I lost my uncle, Prince Albert Hepburn. And he died kind of suddenly. Prince went into hospital that Saturday, and Tuesday morning he's dead. And he went into hospital, no pain. Well, of course, he's feeling weak. And then they found out that there was so much challenges, his heart, his livers, and Prince died at age 77. And Prince, from the time I started my company, Bahamas Maritime Connection, in 2004, Prince joined as a security officer. He said, Glenn, I come in to work with you. I said, Prince, this thing ain't cut out for you. And he was living in Angeles for a while, and he came up, and he decided he'd work. And Prince, he had no passport. Prince, he had no driver's license. Prince, he had nothing. I said, Prince, I used to live. We had to get all those things organized. We got him organized, and he started us as a security officer, and then he worked himself into being a security supervisor, and then he worked himself into being a manager. And he's a manager for many, many years. He was a manager up until the time he had to get his leg amputated, and we couldn't use him no more. And he keep telling me, boy, I can get his leg fixed so I can come back to work. And he's 77, he want to come back to work in the 70s, right? Because when he got his leg amputated, I think he was in his late 60s. But, you know, he was very agile and all the rest. That's my uncle. He's something like me. So, to my family, I want to say, we battling it out. Because when I found out, and I can tell you, last week Wednesday, I had a 10-hour training for ISPS, and I was away from the island when I found out, and I had to keep taking breaks to stop myself from crying while I was trying to train. That's the kind of impact, because my Uncle Prince and we were like brothers. We were so close. And I would always frequently, because he lived right around the corner from my office, right? And I would frequently go there. Anytime he have a problem, he called me. I have some pear in the yard, but see, he was living in one of my apartments, right? So a pear tree in the yard. He called me Friday. Glenn, when you coming for this pear? I say, oh, Lord Prince, I forget I was traveling. Anyway, I back now, because I came back that Thursday. And Friday I went there, and I must see 7 more pears that's left on the tree. Because I'm on the ground by up, and he said, man, the pears just keep dropping. He couldn't pick them, you only get 1 foot. Anyhow, me and Prince talked for about 1.5 to 2 hours. We don't normally talk that long. And I had to go inside. I went inside the house to talk to him, because he's normally on the outside. Prince, everybody in the neighborhood know he's be on the outside. And we know he like to play backgammon. And you don't like to play checkers too much, because I beat him in that, right? But anyway, Prince and I spoke for like 1.5, 2 hours, and we talked about so much things, and I don't know, how these things happen. But that was our last time we would talk. And I would have never dreamed that was the last time me and Prince will talk. Because he was nobody who looked ill. I got a call the next day from my auntie Moyne telling me, Prince ain't doing too good. I said, but me, I was by Prince when I was talking to him. Yeah, but I got called ambulance. She called the ambulance that evening. I think that was Saturday evening or Friday, one of them days, right? And the ambulance said they had 6 of them out, and they ain't know when it coming in, and they didn't come till the next morning. Next morning they took him in, and they said that Prince had all kind of little issues, like I say, with his heart and little. Anyway, I got to talk like this because Prince was my company. He was my company representative. Prince is the person of my company. If anybody doing anything wrong, he can tell them. But I have to let Glenn know about this. Even if it was a manager when he was a security officer, he said, oh yeah, you all doing foolishness, I got to let Glenn. He never referred to me as Mike Delta. He's called me managing director Mike Delta. He didn't refer to me as that. He didn't refer to me as Mr. Bain, as some of them call me. He called me Glenn. That's what he always called me, up until the time he resigned from the company. Because that's the kind of relationship me and him was. And from how small he tell me, don't call me uncle. I feel like that at all. And when I really checked stock, I realized that when I born, he was only 15. So, I really ain't that old in me now, right? 15 years ain't much these days. But anyway, I hope I get my next 15 years, right? May my uncle, Prince, soul, rest in peace. And I can tell you from good stock. That Hairburn stock is good stock. Now, we had all of that to say all of this, just to say tonight, we will revisit our number 1 maritime institution in this land, in this Bahamas. LJM Maritime Academy is the creme de la creme when it comes to maritime training in the Bahamas. See, when I did all of my maritime training, I had to go to Fort Lauderdale. But now people could do it right here in the Bahamas and certified to serve on the largest ships in the world as officers and as ratings, I think. Right? We could dig into some of that tonight. I have before me tonight, ladies and gentlemen, 4 prestigious, beautifully glowing personnel from that great institution, LJM Maritime Academy. I think I said it right. And I will introduce them, or allow them to introduce themselves. But the names of our prestigious guests for today's show are Miss William A. Johnson, Mr. Andrew Rami, who's an engineer cadet, Mr. Giovanni Nabi, who's a deck cadet. And when I say deck, I don't talk about no seaman. He training to be captain, right? We think we can make him captain after about 8 years. We have Mrs. Namiko Miller. This is her first time in the room as well. But you know, Miss Willa Mae Johnson been here before, so she know how stupid I carry on. And Miss Miller is the registrar for that institution. And we're gonna dive deep into why they're here. But let me just ask them to introduce themselves one at a time. We'll start with you, Mr. Giovanni. There's the mic. You can grab it and pull it near you or get yourself near the mic. They'll hear you.
Good day, everyone.
Let them know what role you play with the institution.
Giovanni Nabi. I'm a deck cadet, training to be a navigational officer.
What year are you in now?
I finished my second year, going on my third year on sea, waiting for them to contact me.
Is this going to be your first sea voyage in the training program?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you do 2 years of theory first?
Yes, sir.
Wow, well, you're all smart. Yes, Miss Johnson, darling. This is my home girl now. She's from Little Creek.
Good evening, all. Willa Mae Johnson. I am representing the board today. I was the former librarian at the academy. I retired at the end of June this year. But I'm here supporting the event that we are hosting to honor Dr. Brenda Mae Cleare. So you'll hear a little bit more about that in a few minutes.
That's right. Moving on down the line. Yeah, that's your all too, Mike. Go right ahead. Pull it, push it, do what you want to do with it. That's your own. They ain't trying to cooperate. They hold it down.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Namiko Miller, and I am the registrar. In that capacity, I handle recruitment, admissions, scholarships. So if you're interested in attending LJM Maritime Academy, I am the one you would contact.
Very good.
Next, good evening all. I'm Andrew Ramming. I'm an engineering cadet at LJM Maritime Academy. Also just completed my second year, about to prepare to go off to the sea.
Right, so you're going to sail as an engineering officer cadet?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how long is that sailing going to be for?
The sailing just about lasts about 4 months.
That's it? Only 4 months?
And it continues up until a year in total.
Yes.
So you do 4 months on and then what, 2 months off?
And then a period of time off, yes.
You need time to see your girlfriend, eh? Put that time off for. Anyway, that's the program. Oh, you're changing ships and all that.
Ships have different times.
Oh, that's their standard time then.
Campbell ship, and we normally go on for 9 months straight.
That's what I recall.
Yeah.
So you could be gone for 9 months?
Yes, sir.
Well, you need to go to Campbell ship, or no, you get a different scholarship.
Yeah, I'm the Carnival.
You with the big dogs?
Yes.
Oh, well, and you showing off. You're teasing them. Okay, that's very good.
Yes, that's the program. So they do 2 years of theory at the school.
And then they do the sea time.
Yeah, recommended and a required 1 year of sea time.
Okay. Okay.
So birthing is very important for them as well.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I was asking them earlier, is there any more issues with getting birthing on? Because I have 2 daughters that went through Maritime, Cal Maritime, right? Misty Bain and Anisha Williams. And both of them had problems with birthing after they completed their 4 years. They got their degree in marine transportation. They got their Coast Guard. They got their third mate from BMA. Well, officer in charge of navigation watch. That's what they got. The third mate thing gone away, right?
Yeah.
You're in the number third mate. So and then because we started to take it up at the BMA. Well, why only trying to help these students? Because they want BMA scholarship or BS. They wanted those 2. But anyway, we're here to talk about that. We're here really to talk with the great Lady Cleare.
Yes.
Right? And I think it's only fair, Miss Johnson, that we ask you to expand a bit on what's being planned for Mrs. Cleare, and let's talk about a journey a little bit coming out of UB and starting up this program from the top and now moving on and passing the baton on to the new person who's now going to be in charge of the academy. So let's talk a little bit about Mrs. Cleare.
Okay. Thank you.
Dr. Cleare, sorry.
Yes, thank you so much, Captain Bain, for having us this evening. It gives us an opportunity to talk a little bit and expand a little bit more about the LJM Maritime Academy. So persons out there who have the interest in maritime can pursue it through the academy. Dr. Cleare, Brenda May Cleare, who was the inaugural president at the LJM Maritime Academy, started the journey there after 37 years at the college, now University of the Bahamas. So she has a long sterling career in academia, and that supplemented and complemented both her ability to lead the LJM Maritime Academy over the last 12 years, because she retired from the College of the Bahamas, I think it was in 2012, and just shortly after that she started the work towards getting the LJM Maritime Academy established. And so she has been the pillar and the leader, the innovator, the person who has spearheaded the development of the academy over these years, up to this year, June 30th, when she would have retired. The board of directors, recognizing the sterling contribution that Dr. Cleare has made to the institution, as well as out there in the community at large, is honoring Dr. Cleare by having a gala fundraiser on the 7th of November this year at Bahamas Grand Ballroom. We begin that evening's event at 6:30 p.m. with cocktails, and we're looking forward to a grand occasion where we're inviting former colleagues, present colleagues, alumni, friends, family, anyone who has had a connection with Dr. Cleare to come and support her as we honor the work that she has done. The theme for that occasion is charting the course, honoring the legacy of Dr. Brenda May Cleare. Now, as I indicated, it's a gala fundraiser. The board of directors actually intends to make this an annual event, with proceeds from the event going towards a scholarship for cadets who complete the program at LJM to pursue bachelor level studies, actually right there at the academy as well. Even though now a number of our graduates, they go off to Caribbean Maritime University on scholarship from Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. But we have actually been working for a few years on a bachelor degree program, and that program is basically ready. So students who may not want to go to sea right away, or maybe they just want land-based opportunities in maritime, they have the opportunity to pursue the bachelor levels in both navigation as well as engineering. Okay, so the proceeds from that will go towards that. The event is being held under the patronage of the LJM Maritime Academy founder, His Excellency, the Right Honorable Lowell J. Mortimer. He, as you know, was the brainchild behind this institution and the founding of it, and so the event will be under his patronage.
You got plenty of money.
Well, I don't know about that, but we know that his interest really was to see young Bahamians,
That's right.
get into the maritime sector and the opportunities. He had been working with schools in India, but he wanted something here in the Bahamas where Bahamians, young Bahamians, could get those opportunities as well. And so we are very proud of what he has done in terms of raising the standard for maritime. This maritime really is we would say really it's the first pillar, because we are an archipelagic nation.
That's right.
Surrounded by water, and so the opportunities are vast in this area. We don't have to wait until tourists come to make money for our country. We can make money through what God has given us, the land, the sea. And so we are encouraging young persons to pursue this area of maritime studies and take advantage of LJM, Maritime Academy.
Right.
Now, I must say that Dr. Cleare's legacy doesn't just span LJM. She was also, as I indicated earlier, at the college, now University of the Bahamas, for over 37 years. She also served as president of the Bahamas Baptist Community College for 3 years. The government had seconded her from the college to work at Bahamas BBCC, which is now the Bahamas Baptist University College. And she also operated for many years a math clinic, because Dr. Cleare is a mathematician. Her PhD studies is in mathematics education. And she and she really wants to see our Bahamian students excel in mathematics.
Right.
And so many students would have gone through her math clinic.
Okay.
And so all of that impact that she has made there, as well as working with youth organizations out there, Sunday schools and the rest of that, to just nurture young Bahamians. And so she has quite a legacy behind her, and we just want to just honor her and celebrate her for what she has done while she is still in the land of the living. Many times we are honoring people once they've deceased, but we want to give her the flowers now. Okay,
she rightly so very deserved.
Yes. Now there are a number of activities leading up to the 7th of November gala event. We're going to have, of course, Dr. Cleare loves the Lord. That's her. And so we're having the first activity really is basically a praise and thanksgiving service at her church, Emmanuel Baptist Church on Emmanuel Way off of St. Vincent Road. Then we're going to be having the renaming of the simulator building in her honor at the campus on the 5th of November. That's Wednesday the 5th. And then we're also going to be doing a community outreach service where we engage our cadets, our faculty, our staff by doing a beach cleanup. And so we had a few other activities, but we decided, let's focus in on some, and then later on we can also bring up some of the others. But those are the primary activities, and culminating with the gala event on the 7th of November. That's a Friday evening, not Saturday, as many people are so accustomed to.
Friday evening, and it starts at 6:30.
And it starts at 6:30.
People like me won't get drunk first.
Well, okay, so the gala event will launch the Dr. Brenda Cleare Bachelor Scholarship Fund, which then every year the board intends to host a fundraiser.
It'll be an annual event?
To raise funds to continue.
Annual fundraising in the name of
Dr. Cleare. Yes.
Very nice.
So so persons who are supporting us, our partners, they're not just giving for an event for that evening, but for long term to contribute towards education of future Bahamian mariners.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good.
And so we have sponsors. We want to thank those who have already given sponsorships. We have persons like Al Rockport Development. We have Royal Caribbean. We have Norwegian.
Wow.
We have
NCL as well?
Yes.
NCL is part of this.
They've given us
sponsor students too?
Not at this time. They have not. But they're just giving us some contribution towards the function. And so we have New Providence Ecology Park, Calories and Co. So we want others to join and take advantage of helping to build the maritime community with our young Bahamians.
Very nice, very nice. Well, I'll see what I could do to try and help push that. But it's a very good idea to have it annually, and it's a big fundraiser, and Dr. Cleare is quite the fitting person to do it in honor of,
Yes.
She is a very good friend of mine. her husband and I we know each other well. Her son and my daughter, they had a little operation going on for a little while, and
Yes.
I know Ivan Cleare Jr. pretty well. He's a good guy, and he's an engineer.
Yes.
Yes, very good engineer.
Yes.
Went all over the world, Canada, China, all over the place.
Yes, in
That's
fact,
a boy.
right now he's working in Saudi Arabia.
See that?
So,
It's a crazy man.
yes.
That's very good. Yeah,
Yes.
I know Ivan Senior and Ivan Junior,
Yes.
and Dr. Cleare.
Yes.
And so yeah, she's a very fitting person. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna run to our first break.
Okay.
And when we come back, I want the others to contribute as to what impact Dr. Cleare, what relation or affiliation they would have had with Dr. Cleare, because they would have been here before she left.
Okay.
And we'll just take it from there. So we're gonna run to our first break and see how it goes.
At One-on-One Pharmacy, our friendly staff is ready to serve you. Visit us today for all your prescription and over-the-counter needs at our East Street South or Charles Saunders Highway locations. We're open Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and from 9 to 4 on Sundays. In a rush? Send your refill scripts online at oneononepharmacy.com or ask about our convenient pickup service. One-on-One Pharmacy, providing personal health care with people at heart. At Bahamas Maritime Connection Limited, we offer first-class maritime security services throughout the Bahamas and the wider Caribbean. As experts in maritime security, we specialize in production of ISPS assessments and plans, verification audits, certified familiarization training, and port security consultancy, just to name a few. Our services also include provision of a security force to maintain all required ISPS facility security compliance. For all your maritime security needs, visit us today in Nassau at our East Street South location or in Freeport in the Kipling Building. Call us at 392-3515 or follow us on all social media platforms. Bahamas Maritime Connection, your leader in maritime security. Let's help you make the connection.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to Maritime Matters. On this show, we talk maritime. Maritime Matters airs weekly every Tuesday at 5:05 p.m. We say 17:05 in the military world, but 5:05 p.m. for those of you all who ain't know no military stuff, right? They call it military time. They call it maritime time. They call it time. 17:05. You see, you could have 5:05, but if you don't put AM or PM, they ain't gonna know what you're talking about. But if you say 17:05, that only could be PM, right? And that's why we love our maritime and military time. So every Tuesday, 17:05, live on Love 97 FM, we got Maritime Matters, right? The primary purpose of this show is to sensitize Bahamians of opportunities in the maritime sector. We also cover current maritime issues from the domestic and international maritime fields. Of course, we ain't gonna bother with them tonight, right? Because we digging up this maritime training institution that's going to carry the Bahamas forward from whence it started some 10 years ago. And we're going to highlight Dr. Cleare, and we really wish we could highlight Dr. Lowell Mortimer, but he's a little shy. He don't like you to bother with him, right? I know, that's my boy. So the phone number to call us, should you wish to get in on this discussion during the show, is 326-8255. That's 326-8255. To hear a replay of this show or any of our previous shows, simply hit us up at any time via our YouTube page. That's Maritime Matters Bahamas. That's why we say, I love you, Maritime Matters Bahamas. So just go to YouTube on your electronic device and type into the search box, Maritime Matters Bahamas. You will find this show after the night, and you will find all of our previous shows running now for over 3 years. So let's talk Maritime Training Institute. And as we're talking about I don't know what to call Dr. Cleare. Well, she's not a proprietor, but she's the one that really picked this thing from bits and pieces off the ground and mold it together and bring it to where it is now, right? So she's a patriot in this aspect, and that's why we gotta give her kudos, and that's why I will dedicate a whole show to her. In fact, I'll dedicate a whole month for her, but only a show to this month, right? Okay. Now we got Brother Nabi, who is he's going into third year as a Marine Maritime Cadet Deck Officer Training student. And I'll just find out from Mr. Nabi, what affiliation he had with Dr. Cleare, what does he recall of her? I mean, she's just gone, so he's been around for some 2 years with her being around. And Dr. Nabi, you goddamn, brother, go for yourself. Let Ms. Cleare hear what you have to say, but so you better be careful. Okay. Hold the mic a little closer. As close as you can, better. Can't go much closer, but yeah, go ahead. Or you can lean it.
Dr. Cleare was a wonderful leader. I could say that.
Very good.
She made it happen for the school. She brought many institutions, many stuff to help the students with. She was a good person. She was a mother to all of us.
Wow. Very
so
nice.
I went to her church before.
Mm-hmm.
She made it happen for us and stuff. So Dr. Cleare is a wonderful person.
Mm-hmm. So as far as the program, since you joined or since you entered the program, did it live up to your expectation? How did you get involved in maritime deck training? What caused you to come to LJM?
I got a pass with my uncle Moxie.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up in the maritime industry.
So you're from the famous Captain Moxie crew?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you grew up in maritime, so you really ain't had much options.
No, sir, I ain't really had no much options.
So you knew long time from which high school you went to?
Bailey.
You used to pay so?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you gotta be good. You gotta be good. You a fellow pay so. Oh, I didn't expect that. I thought you could say what a big time school, like, where you spend plenty of money and think that your family got money.
No.
Okay, so you was a pacer, and how did you? Well, you knew about LJM because you was already dealing with the mail boat, and you knew a lot of people.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you knew you wanted to do that.
Yes, sir. I know about LJM from BMCC.
So you was part of BMCC also.
Yes, sir.
How did that happen?
In Bailey, they had ranges. They had different organizations, cadet programs.
And you chose Maritime.
I chose BMCC.
You're a Maritime man.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's very nice. So you went to BMCC from grade 10?
No, I went from only in grade 12.
Only 1 year?
Only 1 year I spent there.
So how come you only 1 year you spent at Bailey, or only 1 year you spent at BMCC?
The BMCC.
How come you joined so late?
I didn't really. It wasn't knowledge to me.
Or you wasn't aware of it?
No, I wasn't aware.
And you're a maritime man from way back then. How come you didn't know about this BMCC thing?
I don't know. They're probably the school.
So how did you find out about BMCC?
I found out through guiding council.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you didn't have no friends, nobody else in your school who was part of it?
Yes, sir. I had plenty friends.
And you didn't know all of them started in grade 12?
No, all of them they started, but they was in different school.
I mean from Bailey.
No, I didn't really.
Oh, so it wasn't big in Bailey then?
No, it wasn't that big.
You was probably one of the few then from Pacer. We can fix that. That's the pace we're supposed to set the pace for everybody else.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, we can fix that. So you went to BMCC for 1 year, and what happened? You went to Holland College, or you didn't go to Holland College?
No, I didn't go. I went from BMCC to straight to LJM.
Okay. So people just go to Holland College first and then come to LJM then?
Yeah, we've had students who've done that. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you was able to get a scholarship.
Yes, sir.
So you were smart. You them smart Moxie because you get somewhere to watch.
I say I average.
You average, but you was able to grab a scholarship.
Yes, sir.
What did you need to get a scholarship?
We just went through an interview.
I mean, academically, what did you have to bring to the table to be selected for a scholarship? Did you need some academics, or you just need to be a good talker like politicians?
Not really. You needed academics. You needed 2.5 and up GPA.
You used that sharp? You had over 2.5?
Yes, sir. Always.
Okay, boy, one thing was you now, you ain't shy. So now you're getting ready to go to sea.
Yes, sir.
You looking forward to that?
Yes, sir.
You need a girlfriend that long? How long you gonna see for?
9 months.
Boy, your girl, she get a baby in that time.
Oh Lord, don't say that.
Alright, so you getting for a little while?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but if she love you, you ain't gonna away with that.
Yeah.
You know, when I joined the Defense Force, I had to go to England for a year. I said, oh my goodness. One thing in the Defense Force now, they say, boy, absence make the heart go fonder. And then they have the next little thing. And God said, women get teeth.
So what happened in your case?
My heart go front and my woman was faithful and true to the end.
Good.
I had nothing to worry about.
Good.
Yeah, man. I come back here and she said, I'm ready for you, darling. I said, that's what I'm talking about. So I was straight. Yeah, man. So that's good. You looking forward to it?
Yes, sir.
So you know they could be boring, right? Camel shipping? Boy, you could eat more Indian food?
I wouldn't mind.
You don't mind Indian food? Plenty salad?
Plenty
Curry. Yeah, but they put curry in salad too.
Yes.
Anyway, once you know what to expect, I'm happy to see that we have Bahamians who are prepared to go to sea for now. Because you know, when I was at BMA, one of the cries used to be, oh, Bahamians don't want to go to sea. And I always had to correct that. I say, you only exposing Bahamians so they could go to sea. Yes. I say, you only get a little rat from Portuguese who you all figure you could brush off and say. I said, no, don't make like that. I said, we need proper maritime training. We need people who could go off to school and get into the upper ups of maritime. And, you know, it's like everything else. When they're young, they could go to sea. It's just like joining the military. When they're young, they join the military. Now they could go to sea for 10 years, 20 years if they want. And then when they don't have enough of that, they get a maritime job ashore. And it's plenty of them. Now I hope you won't be no pilot. I know how you all go. You all like money. You ain't thinking that far yet.
No, I ain't thinking that far.
What you want to do at the end of the day when you done sail for 10 years, you get married to this nice girlfriend you're leaving.
Yes,
you can't just leave her unmarried. So you get married, you get a little pickaninny coming along. So what kind of job you want to do? You can't sail forever.
No, I'm not planning to stay on Campbell for long.
So how come you want to be a marine pilot? You say you want to be a marine pilot? Marine pilot means you don't go to sea. You just take the boat and come right back and go home to your family. But you don't want to do that.
No.
So what do you really want to do after you finish sailing?
After I finish sailing, I start some companies, some boat charter companies.
Boat charter?
Yes, sir.
You could be a pilot and do boat chartering. You know how much money pilots make? Alright, anyway, you want to do boat chartering, that's fine.
Yes, sir.
Small boats or big boats? Yachts? What kind of chartering are you talking about?
Yachts.
Yacht chartering?
Yes, sir.
You want to own the boats or you just want captain the yachts with the rich people own?
Own the boats.
Yeah? You know how much them boats cost?
Yes, sir. But I'll grind to it.
Okay.
I'll work to it.
I with you, my brother. I with you. Just let me know when you're ready. I might have $2 I want to put on little something so when you start making money, get a little something back.
Yes, sir.
Right? Okay, so that's Brother Giovanni Nabi. And to my right, we got another cadet here, but this cadet happened to be an engineer cadet. These are fellas they got to start up the engine and keep it running. And if they get mad, they'll tell the captain, I'm not starting my engine. And that ship can't move. That's how these engineers is can. Boy, you know we don't like engineers because I deck. Anyway, this one look like a little sharp. He look like a happy little fella. Mr. Andrew Ramming is his name. All the way from Long Island. Well, he family that may know I'm in Long Island. So, Brother Andrew Ramming, you can let us know first of all how you feel about Dr. Cleare, and then later on we'll get into exactly what you were doing at this point with LJM.
Right, most certainly. So yes, Dr. Cleare, right off the bat, she's a very compassionate person. She took us from the bootstraps. When I saw her in the interview, she's very kind and warm and accepting. Gave us the opportunity to enter this academy even without any maritime background. You could start with ground zero.
Start from scratch.
You can start from scratch.
Just have the mindset to come and do some work.
Right, and still make yourself welcome into the maritime field, which, you know, thanks to her opportunity at LJM. has made it possible for me.
So what school you came from, and how did you find out about LJM?
Well, I came from the Jolly Green Giants at St. John's College. I got a rep it here, man.
Yeah, people have money. And that's how come you go in engineering. You all fellas, only smart people can do engineering. You know, but I would have never tried that because I was in the shop. I was smart on my mouth now. But when I come to that brain, I couldn't do too much engineering. I remember when I was in college to become a naval officer, we had this course called engineering science. A lot of physics. Man, I used to get beat up and that. I used to drop sleep and that and all. I didn't know what was going on. But you know what saved me? There was this young chap. He'd like to play basketball. But you know them white boys can't play no ball. You can play the basketball, you live bright yourself. I used to carry him on the court, like, you know, after classes and thing, and show him little tricks. Because that was hard. They still trying to figure out how I'm going to the NBA. You see, because I used to run circles around them. I tell them, I say, give that up to join the Navy, man. But little that they know when they come home, I used to get dog up, right? So I over there carrying on bad. And this young man, he was a flight student. Like he was becoming an officer to fly planes, right? So he was them kind of things. He used to run through them. Because I mentioned them, I said, boy, this engineering science, I don't know how I can understand this. And he said, what, man, that's easy. And he started to come to my cabin after. But once I agreed to go on the court with him for an hour, he come to my cabin for an hour. And he let's walk. And that's the only way I was able to pass because he also helped me in advanced maths. Because see, I came from high school in Gloucester. I never went to no college or nothing. And I never did physics, chemistry, them kind of things. I used to do biology and art, and you know, I wasn't a fool. I just want to pass. So you come from St. John's. My daughter went to St. John's. Misty went to St. John's, and Misty would have been the first female, Bahamian female, to get the scholarship to Cleare Maritime, right? And she would have gone there. And at first, I remember when she gone with Dorkindale, it was Dorkindale shipping at the time, not Campbell, right? Campbell didn't exist yet. And she went to sea with them for a 9 months sign on, and she ended up staying to sea for 13 months. And she got her little puffy, little Pillsbury dough girl, and she come back slim. That's why I tell you, but her food, that get her bad, you drop the weight. Okay, so what caused you in St. John's? How did you get linked with LJM?
Well, it was same with Navi. I found it through BMCC.
St. John's have BMCC too?
Yeah, they advertise it there.
Wonderful. So you joined BMCC for 1 year or for 2 years?
For the full 3 years.
From grade 10?
Yes.
Oh, but you are like Navi, man. You shabby new. So you joined from grade 10. Now, how did you find that experience with the Maritime Cadet Corps?
I found it very enticing. I actually started with the deckhand course. So
you went to when you said the deckhand course?
The deck. Well, no, I didn't start with engineering. Oh,
you started on the deck side?
Right.
Well, everybody starts on the deck side. I don't know if they do any engineering at that cadet corps level, do they? They separate the two?
Yes, they separate it once you reach grade 12, right?
Okay.
I think so.
All right. So you went all the way with the deck side with them.
Right.
And then you decide when you go on the LJM, you could pull up some of that physics and thing and get into some real engineering.
Exactly.
Okay. So how did you find that engineering program so far? Because I thought that was a little shabby. Let me tell you why I said that, right? When my daughter went to Cleare Maritime, they gave us a tour. You know I don't miss much. And when I go on in those engineering labs and workshops, and I start hearing, because I used to talk with Ivan, and I used to hear them talking about, these systems, and you got to learn this, and so much systems and engineering, and it's so challenging, and I know one or two fellows who are going over there and they're failing. But they're a little shabby, right? little one fella. Anyway, I ain't gonna call no names. I don't like to talk bad with people. We had some little shabby set, but they were talking about engineering being so difficult, and they got through though, right? But the equipment that they had, it's like, you seeing workshop after workshop, all kind of big machine. When I went to LJM and Detroit, I didn't see that type of thing. And that's why I'm asking, you ever went to a real maritime institution in the States that has a lot of money and have this equipment?
No, I haven't, but I'm aware that there are more well-equipped stations.
Okay. So how do you all get past that? I know you do simulation and stuff.
Right, some basic simulation here and there.
Mm-hmm. But without the really, so you can get your first-hand feel when you get on the ship. So some of these real big machinery that you got to be dealing with.
Practically, pretty much, yes.
Okay.
We were exposed, even before we go on the ship, we were exposed to be...
One of these? Your mic, turn the mic towards you.
All right.
Just flip it towards you.
Yeah. All right, just like this?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we even before we go on the ship, we engineers got the opportunity at BPL for a 2-week internship.
BPL don't do no engineering. What kind of operation? BPL, but ship engineering and facility engineering, it's like, ain't quite. But anyway, it's engineering. So you did some of that.
Basic.
Okay, you did some of that.
Yeah.
And they had a program for you guys to go through that 2 weeks, or you just basically just showed up and say, this is what I do, you look at that, or did they have a program where you will really see the depth of what they're doing from an engineering perspective when you went there?
It's definitely more of a shadowing experience, but it is up to you still to inquire about these systems.
Right, okay.
It's on the part of the cadet mostly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's cool, man. That's cool. So when you go to sea, when you guys go to sea, would you have, I know they used to have something they call a seaman's book or something that you got to complete?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
See, I never do no program like that. I jump everything. I was bigoted. I just need my certification. I don't do the stuff. Right? So okay, so you got to do your detail and get various officers to sign off on certain things to say, yeah, he okay with this, and yeah, he okay with that. So that when you come back to the university, you have your book basically all signed up, and you're ready to do the rest of your theory. All the theory finished in the first 2 years, or they got more theory to do after they do their...
It's completed within the first 2 years.
Yeah. So y'all ain't got no more theory to do after now? I mean, once y'all start going to sea?
Basically, they would do like short courses if they want to do like GMDSS, specialized stuff like that. But generally, the program is complete.
Right.
And now the practical on the sea. Mm-hmm. And then when they come back, they can do refreshers of any of that stuff that they need to do and prepare for their BMA examinations.
So how do they prepare for this BMA certification exam? Because, I mean, for example, people who go to the U.S. institutions, they got to pass the Coast Guard exam, right? Which is all done by Coast Guard.
Yes.
So you guys do something similar to what Coast Guard does?
They do the Scottish exam. Sorry. They write the Scottish exam. The Bahamas Maritime Authority uses the Scottish exam, so they can do prep for that. There are exercises that they can practice, and they also can get coaching from the lecturers on campus in specific areas as well.
So who sets this exam? Who makes up this exam?
The SQA is a Scottish-based exam.
So they utilize the
That's
Scottish
BMA
exam,
yes.
And they would give them that to take.
Yes.
Give them a Scottish exam to take.
Yes.
And that's their certification exam.
Yes.
So once they pass that.
Yes, and it's different pieces. So
the sea time and all the rest of that to get your certification. Then they got this thing, and I think it's so silly. They have this thing called you got to do your oral exam.
Yes, there's an oral part.
Isn't that stupid?
There's oral and theory. Yes,
so who tests you when you're doing this oral exam? The Scottish people?
I know BMA.
BMA could test anybody
as a team. I guess they're using the principles and practices that they need to be aware of in the area. So they have questions that they actually would have prepared.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
So the questions that they ask, well, you wouldn't know. And this is what I really need to question, because whenever you preparing for an oral exam, you should have some guidance on how to prepare for it.
Yeah, actually,
They give you any guidance?
in the library we have books actually that have sample questions. BMA has some
You have some guidance that
resources.
they give you?
Yeah.
Also, is it equal to like how I think when it started out, there's like people was like nobody could pass it because nobody knew they coming from left field with this thing, right field with this thing, and nobody could have prepared.
Yeah, it's not like that. No. Yeah.
I talk so bad with the BMA, I can stop that. I can't impress with them now. They get this together. Well, they sure he had it together for 2 or 3 years ago.
There are also the past papers.
Yes.
You can practice from the past
Papers.
papers. We have those.
So the BMA, past all papers?
No, we have past oral questions that you
Yeah.
can
Yes,
You
questions.
could prepare it?
Yeah, questions.
So they actually read out those questions?
We actually have books that give sample questions in the library, and they actually give you the kind of response that you would be able to give for that particular
But I thought
question.
the BMA knows about. I would hope that the BMA knows about what in these books, so that when you give them the right thing, they can recognize you did it right.
Well,
Because if they lost, they never look at the books, and they'd be like,
but they have experts in the area, in the different areas. You know, they have engineers who work with BMA. They have navigation officers who work with BMA. So they have persons there who would know.
But most of them never work at a maritime institution. Most of them never work with well, okay.
Well,
They have some experience.
yeah,
So I figure they would have some idea what's going on. I can't knock them, right? They need a system.
Yes.
Let's hope they make sure that system is workable.
Yes.
Because we don't want Bahamians going through all of this, and then at the end of the day, because you can make anything too difficult for somebody.
Yeah.
Right? The BMA making it so difficult that I could tell that the BMA never used to even want to give Bahamians licenses. Even when I was there, I had to route them left, right, and center to give some of my colleagues licenses just to drive boats between here and Florida. You know, but they eventually did. But it wasn't easy. I really had to take them on headstrong. And even today, there are some things that, anyway, we ain't here to talk about the BMA. I need this lady, Miss Namiko Miller, the registrar for the LJM Maritime Academy, to let us know what is her feeling about Miss Cleare, her experience with Miss Cleare, and all of, because this Miss Cleare show,
Yes.
right? So we got 20 minutes left. We ain't no rush. We got 20 minutes left.
Okay, my personal experience with Dr. Cleare. Dr. Cleare is the kind of leader who doesn't just hold titles, she holds trust.
Okay.
And to me, she led with vision, she led with values, and a voice that resonated far beyond the room. She shaped that organization, and without her, we feel kind of like a loss. You know, like when you lost someone.
Right.
And it's taken some time for us to get adjusted to this new. And so that's the kind of impact that she had on LJM. Like Cadet Nabby said, she was like a mother to all of us. And even though she was busy with her job, she took her time to mentor me, because my background is not in academics. But when I came there, she took her time.
What's your background again?
You'd be surprised.
Exactly, that's why I asked.
Let me tell you.
Is it Maritime? It ain't Maritime,
Let me
right?
tell you. So I have.
Because you say she took us, and it's like you've been through the academy.
Let me tell you. So I have a bachelor's in history. I have a master's in museology with a minor in nonprofit management.
What
I have an
museology?
Yeah.
What, that's music?
Museology. So museum
That's
studies.
museum.
Yes.
Museum studies, yeah.
Oh, I got a little cousin who does like the people who just run the art museums. What you call them?
Curators?
Curators.
He's a curator. He's a curator now. He's born and grew up in England, but that's my sister's son.
Okay.
Yeah, he got white daddy. But he's, I mean, I never took this thing seriously until he went to university, and he's now a curator, and he's explaining to me how they can make so much money if they really get a good sale from a painting.
You can.
And so what you said, I think, was you do?
So I have a master's in museology.
Museology. Is this something similar to like being a curator?
It is. So I'm a former curator.
Okay. Wonderful. I can let him meet you. Anyway, we ain't getting into all that. But whenever we come in town, I really, because, sometimes we like to speak with people who would have had certain backgrounds.
Exactly.
Although you didn't go deep into it, probably
Yes.
like he would have made it a career. But it'll be interesting for him to just meet a Bahamian who did something like that, Sorry. Okay, we talked about Dr. Cleare. Yeah. So she took you in. And,
she took me in and she mentored me, and it just was a joy to work with her.
Wonderful.
You know,
wonderful.
At times I thought, like I would go crazy because when she leaves, she's like, we have to get this done. We have to get this done.
Mm-hmm.
But I realized that her way of thinking made us better as employees, and I appreciate her for that. So, as I said, it's a loss. We really miss her, but we're glad to see that she has completed her journey at LJM, and her legacy still lives on.
Yes, and I can say that I know for a fact that Dr. Cleare came in basically cold turkey, and she knew nothing about maritime. The most she knew about maritime is what Ivan would have told her he went through, right? Which means she understood a lot of what these students go through. If my child going through it, I can understand what's going on, right? And she decided to take up the mantle with limited resources, right? And resources started to come piece, because it costs millions of dollars to put that institution in place.
Yes.
But you also needed millions of dollars to sustain it. And those millions of dollars wasn't coming anymore, right? So today, with a lot, but what I'm hearing, and I'm happy to hear, is a lot of sponsor money coming in to assist with the sustenance of LJM, because it's just too big to fail, right?
Yeah.
And I told people many times, I won't say the government, but I like to get on the Maritime Authority case, right? Our BMA, Bahamas Maritime Authority, should share the obligation of not only making sure that the LJM is streamlined internationally with maritime institutions, because right now the LJM is really lacking a lot of equipment, right? A lot of expansion. Because if you go to a real maritime school that was going on for decades, and see the type, you could see the amount of money involved, right? But of course they got bigger numbers.
Yeah, but let me just interject here though, Mr. Bain. The fact that LJM is still really a juvenile.
It's still an embryo.
Embryonic stage, and so to turn in. And I have to defend BMA somewhat here, because in the last
let's defend BMA.
In the last few years, BMA has given significant, very good contribution to LJM, Maritime Academy. As you would recall, in 2024, the government actually named, there was the National Maritime Training Bill, which was passed in Parliament, and so LJM really is now seen as the National Maritime Training Institute, responsible basically for maritime training in the country.
I agree.
Okay, and so BMA has been contributing, and the government itself has promised to contribute towards. In fact, this year, I think the government is funding, is it 100 or 50 students? Full scholarships? 70 students, full scholarships to do the program. You know, in the past we've had...
Full scholarship, what does that entail compared to what they're doing at UB?
Well, similar.
Full scholarships to anybody who has certain qualifications?
Yeah, similar.
So why are they limiting it with you guys? And it's unlimited at UB.
Well, we are crazy. We're not quasi government. You remember, we are not for profit institution. LJM is not. So we have a public-private.
He makes profit per se.
But we have public-private partnership agreement with the government. So that's a little different, perhaps, than UB. So we still have to go out and also attract additional funding.
Which is fine.
So,
but the government should be putting more. Let me tell you what I think. But a maritime school for country, a national maritime school, which you are now.
And maybe it'll get to that, you know. Yeah. So, but I must tell you, when we first opened, within the first 5 years, when we signed an agreement with SUNY Maritime College, Okay, we have several affiliation agreements.
Yeah, I know you.
And we signed.
College is the one I know about. And Sony also.
Sony Maritime College. They came and visited the academy.
And what was that agreement?
And you know what that agreement was about? To see how, when students are completed here, to be able to transition there for bachelor level studies, etc. But when they saw our simulators, they actually remarked that our simulators were more up to date than what they had at Sony at the time. Now maybe they've gone back and done some additional, I'm telling you.
I'm listening.
Okay? CMU, when they came here, Caribbean Maritime Institute, our simulators were much more relevant at this point than what they are. We constantly
say your simulator. You mean the bridge resource thing?
The bridge resource, the engine resource.
No, you all can't go there. I see what they are.
We have the engine resource simulator as well, you know.
Yeah, I saw.
So okay,
but it don't compare what they have.
Yes, it did. It did compare. I'm telling you, that's what they said. The president himself and the VP of Academic Affairs were here. Okay? So, well, I don't know if they did. Whoever told them, but that was what they remarked. But now, of course, we still have to grow. The academy is still growing, you know.
Bahamas,
yes,
in the Caribbean,
yes.
What's an amazing
exactly, in the U.S. And so I think we definitely, and having visited CMU myself, obviously they do.
You go engineering workshop?
They do. They have several engineering workshops, and I can see our institution, LJM Maritime Academy, getting to that level for the future. They have the robotics, and they have other types of engineering
so let me
workshops.
Ask a big question.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
We got off it. Okay. The big question is this. You go to CMU, you go to SUNY Maritime, you go to Mass Maritime, you go to Kings Point, and you find that the lecturers are people who have sailed.
Yes.
And find the lecturers are people who have qualified themselves in the maritime field.
Yes.
So how does that compare with LJM? Because I don't know LJM to have the same situation.
Of course we do. We have master mariners, we have chief engineers. We have two or three now.
They're just joining.
No, some of them have been here over 3 years.
But not just.
But we've had we've had them before. We've had others who have come and gone.
When I had you and Miss Cleare and
we had one but he was our second master mariner.
No, but I mean you have 3 one time.
Yes. Now
But then you only had him.
We had him and one other.
But you see, classes were smaller then too.
The classes were smaller.
Because this year we've taken in our largest cohort since we've opened. So this year we have 60 cadets and 14 rating students.
So let me ask another question. Since you the balance seemed to be off to me, because if you have, I think you should have more ratings than cadets. Because the fleet needs more ratings than cadets. Why do we focus so much on cadets?
Well, we don't focus only on cadets.
Now I say only. Why do we give it more focus than the ratings? Because ratings are more jobs for ratings out there than officers.
So we don't just focus mainly on our cadets. It's who come to us. So the call goes out for the cadets and the call goes out for the ratings. Same time, social media presence, paid ads, and we answer the call. So if you call us,
but okay, let's look at the Maritime Cadet Corps program, right? Do you all actually go there and abstract from that program?
They come and visit. They come and visit us. We go to them and present. It's them. A number of the students who are in those programs really aren't interested in maritime.
But you would get far more people qualifying to be a rating than qualifying to be a...
Yes, and those who express that interest, we take them in. So we've had...
So
we've trained... Our first rating cohort was 50 students.
That's a little bit compared...
No, but I'm saying that was our first.
How long is the ratings training?
4 months.
That's deck and engine?
Yes.
So when they get through, they get rating forming part of a navigation watch and rating forming part of a
Yes,
engineering watch.
deckhand, yes. Deckhand, yeah.
Not deckhand. What they get?
Efficient deckhand is the name of this, of the rating for the navigation side, and yeah.
So they end up with those. And,
Yes.
and you get them linked to ships once they
We get them linked to, yeah.
so they no problem getting them on
Those-
ships like it used to be back in
There are, there's still a shortage.
Shortage of birthing?
Yes. So that's
Ah, that-
that's an area that we still definitely need.
Excuse me.
More
would
work in.
BMA be able to assist with that, or who would make that link for the institution?
Well, we've spoken with the Bahamas Ship Owners Association, BMA, all of them to try, because the Bahamas has over 1,500 ships on its fleet.
Exactly.
On its register, so we definitely work with them to
You
try
work
to
with the
get.
ship owners?
The ship owners visited us this year, was it?
They did.
And we spoke directly. They had their board meeting in the
What
Bahamas.
did they say? They ready to take our people? See, because I can tell you that 20 years ago when I was at the BMA, the minister at the time was Minister Cleare Martin, and she called me, Captain Ben, if I had me with a ship, because this is my passion from back then. I was like, come on, man, we gotta get payments on these payment ships, right? The reason why I left government was to form a maritime. It's the same LJM was supposed to be me,
Well,
but I had no money, right? To form a maritime institution to train Bahamians to get on these, because we had over 1,700 ships then, get on these 1,700 ships the BMA have, right? And unfortunately, well, fortunately for me, but unfortunately for the program, the ISPS came around 2004, around that time, and there was a big demand for ISPS from all the port facilities. And everybody started calling on me, so I was like, boy, I didn't have all of my training programs and got all of my manuals, and I didn't do so much work trying to say I could start this maritime institution. And how I was going to do it is I was going to tie in with the Betty K, with the tropical shipping, with the cruise ships, and use their lifeboat to do exercises for these students. I would go on the mail boats and with the students and do the family island trips. They go on different islands and whatnot, teach them how to do all the navigation and the engineering. But you guys teach the people on the boat how to do engineering, because they don't do no watch, right? And but you all do on the boat, you all don't do no watch. So the program would have really been utilizing resources that I didn't have in the classroom, but I can get them linked with doing these things practically, because I could follow the STCW code. And that's another thing. How streamlined is our program with the STCW code?
it has to follow it.
Well, it's supposed to follow it.
Well,
but are you audited quarterly?
we are audited annually.
Each program?
Annually.
No, you need quarterly and annually. Annually is supposed to be the independent. I talk about the internal audits.
Well, I don't know.
I know the system now.
Okay.
I can't tell me much.
I can't tell you about the internal audit.
So how it's supposed to be? Because I did
annually, BMA does its audit with us.
But BMA is supposed to be doing not only quality, it's supposed to be a quality quarterly audit.
Well,
right?
I can't.
Checking your program from the registrar bringing people in to when they leave, what all they do, every program you have is streamlined with
Well, they have the National Accreditation Agency, NACOB.
CCW code.
It doesn't have with the IMO codes, but they also work along with the quality as well.
Right?
Yes. So,
but the quality is supposed to come from the administration.
Yes.
Setting up.
Yes.
A series.
Yes.
Not only for the national institution, but any institution where Bahamians that they're going to issue license to will go to train. They're supposed to do it with SUNY, but of course Coast Guard does that, right? They're supposed to done it with LJM. When I went to Fort Lauderdale to Maritime, you all know the name of that one, right? Maritime Professional Training. My predecessor, because I took over from Mr. Captain Colum Leggett at the BMA as the Port State Inspector for the Bahamas. He went over and he audited them. And then I went over and I audited them, because we were giving licenses based on those training. Right? I didn't do it quarterly. because again, Coast Guard had a system going with them. But my thing is, if we can have one in the Bahamas, the same level of quality audit supposed to apply.
I agree.
And I'm not sure that happens, right? Because if you were doing a particular training under the STCW code, somebody got to verify that you were doing it based on how you're supposed to be doing it, not just how you want to do it.
No, I agree. We agree. So we do follow the codes. So with our programs,
you all follow the code. I'm just wondering if the administration is doing their part.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Understood.
I'm blaming you all. I'm knocking you all.
Yeah.
I say, God, the people blaming the Haitian for being here. I ain't blaming nobody for being here. I blame the authorities who are supposed to be able to
do what they're supposed to do.
Cause it difficult for them to be here.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Because if I was them, I might have come too.
Yeah.
I ain't got a problem. If things happen, I can go get a better opportunity. Yeah, of course I can do that.
Definitely.
Now, if Trump them stop me, then that's a different story. You know, Trump don't play. But anyway. Yeah. So I'm happy to hear that you get annual audits, but that is known as an external or independent audit. But do you all do internal audits?
I guess the dean.
Dean.
Yeah.
Who dean?
Our dean.
Academic dean.
You're an academic dean. Who's the dean is person in charge? That's the fellow you ever been to see?
The dean and
not me.
Who's the dean? The dean is Mrs. Bridget Hogg.
Is Mrs. Bridget Hogg a maritime professional? Did she go to maritime school?
No.
Did she go to sea? So how could she audit a program that she never did?
But she works with the program and the guidelines that have been established.
She's pretty much aware with the SCCW code requirements.
She has access to the requirements. Yeah.
One thing I like with my cousin from South Africa. Which part are you running for? Miss J, you easy. I gotta like Miss J. So we got 5 minutes left, right?
Yes.
I don't want to lick you all, right? Because you all, in my opinion, you all are what we got. We can't allow us to fail.
Thank you.
But I will criticize it now.
Of course.
Lightly. Because if I go heavy, it ain't be easy. Right? I just happen to know what I went through.
Yes.
I just happen to have gone deep with STCW because when you got to go on a ship and carry an inspection, you got to know how to look for certain things.
Exactly.
Right? I actually do audits. I audit facilities for ISPS. I audit ships for ISPS. Right? And I'm an independent auditor. And part of my job is to see that you was doing your
due diligence.
Right?
Yes.
And all the rest of that good stuff. So that's why I'm kind of asking if this and I did a course on maritime training audits in Jamaica, right? I did it at CMIC. And when you compare the Jamaica Maritime Authority and its affiliation with CMIC and the Bahamas Maritime Authority and its affiliation with LJM, it's like night and day. And that's why I get on your case, right? Because I know the BM is supposed to be doing more. As a matter of fact, if this is a government, or not a government, if this is a national institution, the government should be spending more than the others. So, if Brother Lowell Mortimer spent that $28 to $30 million to get this thing off the ground, the government should have matched that. Okay, you spend all that money, here's our $30 million. Get yourself equipped. Get some nicely qualified people, yada, yada, yada. And I ain't talking about the fella at the top, right? Because I know him. Me and him need to talk first. But me and him gotta have a show. And I try not to knock him too hard if he agree. Right? Why? But if he don't agree, he can get it. I just like, anyway, we leave that right there. We can rest that right where that is, and me and him will start talking. You can get me to hook up with him, right?
I will definitely.
Me and him need to start talking because
yes.
I like to talk facts and I like to be in a position to assess because he may need some massaging done on the outside by people like me to give him what he need.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because I want him to get what he need. But I want him to know I know a little bit about maritime training and exactly. I gotta help him out a little bit because obviously he come in cold turkey, maritime training man. right?
Yes, academic.
He ain't no maritime training man. Listen to me good now.
Anyway.
Maritime training. I say nothing but maritime, what you call the thing? And they draw the plants and stuff like
naval
that.
Academia.
I don't know naval
He worked in academia as well.
Well,
so
academia and maritime.
In maritime academia, I should say.
things.
I should say maritime academia.
That's what I read. But anyway,
Anyhow.
I can listen to you.
Okay.
Johnson, he's a politician. He's my buddy though. He's a real surrounders woman. Okay, so in a couple minutes we need to wrap up, so I don't talk too much.
Let me just go back to our focus for this evening.
Let's bring us on. Which time we get? We actually get 3 minutes.
Okay, which is.
So you can let them talk, or just you, because you want them to talk quick first and then you, or you want.
Okay, I mean, if
anything y'all want to say before, because we only got 3 minutes before the show finish.
All right, I could pick this one up. All right,
Go ahead,
I guess again we could continue and say, like, get the word out, let people know LJM is available to the Bahamians.
Right. Yeah.
You know, we can't have this be a best kept secret anymore.
I agree.
There were cadets our first day who didn't even know what LJM was.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was, so we have to get ready, okay?
I agree. Thank you very much. Yes, my lady. It's the conscience of LJM.
I'd like to just let people know that to follow our social media, follow us on our Instagram page, our Facebook page, to keep up to date with us. We release information on there, especially when it's time for admission. Our recruitment starts again in October.
Okay.
So we're going to be visiting college fairs, we visit on family islands.
Okay.
So as a matter of fact, our cohort now this year consists of 20 students from family islands. So we're proud of that.
You're spreading out.
Yeah, we're spreading out. So we're trying to do
Not 80% of them from Freeport, right?
we have about.
Because when you say family island,
No, we have 7 from Freeport.
Because I used to
7
go to
from
Freeport. Because
Freeport.
I know family islands in our
We
city.
have 2 from Cat Island. Take that.
Stop it.
Yeah.
How much from South Andrews, Miss J?
We have 1 from now.
Miss J,
from Andres.
how much from South Andrews? You know the bluff that all them people. What happened, Miss J? You got him in the sash?
I gotta go.
Okay, yeah, you'll do some recruiting from sash. Because you know they got a lot of potential, especially the rating side, you know?
Yes.
Because they would like to be able to sail on big ships.
Yes.
When you sell, and let me tell you, because I was selling, I was the person who did the talking to the cadets when when Dudley Martinborough and I was starting up the Bahamas Maritime Cadet Corps. I used to go to the schools, I used to talk, and I used to tell them how much money they could make, and the room used to get silent. I tell them they could make $1,000 a day, right? I used to be lying a little bit, but the room used to get silent, and I got some attention, and next thing you know, we had hundreds of people wanting to join. But the reality is, we gotta go out there and get their money, and defense force need to do the same thing I talk about right now. The police need to do the same thing. You don't wait till people graduate to try and get them to come in your institution. You go in high schools and get them.
Yes.
And a lot of them in high school don't have a clue what they want to do when they graduate.
Right.
But if you come to them, they'll be, oh boy, this thing sound good. What I could go around the world on ships and see countries what I only dream about and still get paid while they doing it, right?
Yeah.
And then they say, well, I ain't much, but I ain't got nothing to spend on. I ain't got my gal to no show. I ain't gotta go to no disco. All of my money getting saved when I reach home. Now I could go put down on I have a car. And then 5 years later, I got my own house, and I ain't 25 yet.
Yeah.
Can't beat that with a bat. So they're the kind of things I used to tell them. I don't tell them that now, but I need to get back in the game.
We tell them that when we went out as
You always
well.
tell them to get a house before they're 25?
Yeah.
Well, Mr.
That they could.
46,
we actually tell the students, you know, this is what you
How you
can
save your
expect and what you can do, because really maritime is the pillar that can build the Bahamas. A young person from South Andros or from Cat Island, they can actually bring monies into the country.
That's right.
As well as impact their communities where they live.
That's correct.
They don't have to live in New Providence. They could go to South Andros or Cat Island and start their own maritime businesses
And they could
contribute.
They could put up a little house with air conditioning so the mosquitoes wouldn't even bite them.
Exactly. So, you know, they can do many things with the training. So, you know, but I know we're out of time. Nabi?
Yes, Nabi. Our producers will give us 1 more minute, he said.
LJM is a wonderful place. We got many people who succeed in LJM, who made it the captain, made it the chief engineer. LJM is a good place for people. Make sure you bring your kids. LJM is a fun place too. Make sure you bring your
kids to LJM.
Bring your kids. Bring your adults. Your mini adults.
Bring the kids to summer camp.
Bring your kids to summer camp and sailing camp.
Yeah, we do.
Yes.
We really need to do this some more.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. This is fun.
Okay, Mr. Bain, just in wrapping up, thank you so much again for the opportunity. But we just want to remind persons of why we're here this evening, which is to promote the celebrations that we will be having on the 7th of November to honor inaugural President Dr. Brenda Cleare. We want you to come and join us on that occasion and participate in the activities that will happen prior to the 7th event as well. Persons who may want further information about the gala event can contact me at wmj@ljmma.edu.bs, or you can call the Academy at 397-5300 to get more information. And so we are looking forward to a grand event where you come to celebrate Dr. Cleare as well as to contribute to the Maritime Scholarship, which will be launched in her name at the gala event on the 7th of November at Bahamas Hotel, Grand Ballroom.
Thank you so much for
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that wrap-up, Ms. Johnson, my South Andres colleague. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, as always, I am your host, Captain Glenn Bain. Our lovely producer for the night was Mr. Craig Gibson, as usual. And you have been listening to Maritime Matters. Tonight's show, our prestigious guests were Miss Willamay Johnson, Mr. Andrew Ramming, Mr. Giovanni Nabi, and Ms. Namiko Miller. They are all from the LJM Maritime Institution or Academy, one of them things. They're going to be university soon, and that's how we can be rolling. So thank you for your attention and your supporting our show. I say good night to my good old anime again, 92 and going strong. And with that, as always, we say Maritime Matters. Tick, 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 tick. Out.
Watching the ships roll in, then I watch them roll away again. Yeah. I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide